This dwelling gets quite raucous. You mortals have a strange tendency to...
Hi, how are you? Hey there, pretty. This is Asker's Alley, best tavern in Issa. Only tavern in Issa, of course, but you didn't know that, did you? If you're new in the city, I can help. I know everything. About the Understyle, the Embassy, the Scholia Arcana, you name it. I know it all. We provide your basic public service. Ale. And if drinking isn't your thing, then you can always stop by the Hexes game and back. So you want to brush up on your bad luck, do you? That game will do it for you, all right. Speak with Kali in the back. The Oscars took me in when my pa was killed in the war. That's been nearly 10 years. Now this is my home, pretty. It's where you'll find me every day and every night. Oh, that's a sinister spot, isn't it? Even the Fae take a few extra steps to walk clear of there. Don't trust anyone in robes. Like I said, it's all magic to me. If the Fae said this city got its power from glowing purple antelopes, I'd probably believe them. I'm just a hostess. It's the Fae neighborhood on the other side of the city. There you'll find the Hall of Appointments and the Lyceum Grove. They don't mind if you go exploring in the Understyle, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you know your way around. The Fae can be easily offended. Oh, if I had the finery and manners, you wouldn't find me anywhere but the Embassy Hall. I'd even buy a title. But it's a dreadful place these days, what with the war. The Darkofar and Varani are practically at arms over their differences, and everyone speaks in a whisper. I prefer the United Merchants delegation. Those are my people. When Issa first opened, the Alfar approached the humans about creating a shared shop, so people here could get their sundries. All of this was lost on the Fae, of course. Most of the United Merchants are good people, like Wystron and Gwenna. But that blacksmith's apprentice, Britt Codgan, he's a leech. Olana and her squire Brio, they have the good fortune to meet with all the nobles who visit the High King. A life of lords and ladies. Oh, that's the life for me. Let me just say that I adore Olana. She's one of the few Fae that I've met face to face, and she couldn't be more pleasant. Such a pretty one. Is that the one at the far end of the Understyle? Yeah, I think that's the place. Never been there, but folks say that's where the Fae make the waterfalls. You see, the city gets its magic from the water. They call it the fountain. Or is it the wellspring? I never remember. I'm sure it's just a story anyway. Like I said, it's all magic to me. If the Fae said this city got... Sure, we've got a place to sleep on the floor over there, but it'll cost you. Fine, it's up to you. Bye now. Do you think the Court of Summer even exists? All of this posturing makes me wonder if it's just a myth meant to comfort us.
Game of hexes! You look like one who enjoys a game of hexes. We mortals need something of our own here in Issa. Why can't it be gambling? If you don't know how, I can teach you. What do you want to know about me for? Is this some kind of Fey interrogation? Keep your curiosity to yourself, friend. Folks here have gold. That's enough for me. I don't care where I find myself, just so long as the people there are willing to pay. Not much to do here in the Fey City, but lighten your pockets and have a good time doing it. But I jest. You have a lucky look about you, stranger. You had a look about you. Listen, all you need recall is these 6 cards here in my hand. Ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, and the hex. First, you start with an ante. What'll it be? In my hand, there's an ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, and a hex. 6 cards all mixed up. First round, you guess even or odd. If you're right on a hex or an ace, you take the pot and we're done. Right on any other, and it's on to the second hand. Hand number 2. I'll pull another card, guess if it's higher or lower than the first. Get it right, you win. Simple as that. Bold, I like it. Now, will the card I draw be even or odd? Yes. And it's an ace. You win and the pot's yours. Good on you. You'll be back.
I won't stay. No one does. You should come by town later tonight. That's when we children of the dust
Have you seen Lady Wenry? She's more beautiful than I imagined.
If you're looking to drown your worries at the bottom of a bottle, this is the place for you. I'm Gurturn Asker, and this is my establishment. But if you're looking for the Victor's Brew, we don't sell that in Asker's Alley, and you'll have to take your business elsewhere. I wouldn't say I ran from the war, I just don't need to know every little thing that's going on. There are other ways to help. Getting folks drunk is one of them. The ambassadors requested that facilities be created where flesh and blood folks could put their feet up. Not that the Fae know what that means. So the Almain approached my family about starting a tavern. The alley does well, but I'm no businessman. I know better than to criticize the Fae. They call us children of dust. We treat them like people, but they're like no people I've ever met. This city has been here for thousands of years. Longer than that, even. It will be here long after we're gone. Oh, yes, sorry. The United Merchants Delegation. It's a coalition of traders that have been granted permission to sell their wares in Issa. There's a brewery near Rathia that makes it. Very small, very secretive. But they've found their niche, that's for certain. Cheap and powerful. It's not a drink for the man who appreciates craftsmanship, tradition. It just helps the soldiers forget all they've been through. It's the most popular drink in Amalur, at least it is now. My Asker's Ale used to be the preferred beverage, but every day brings more cancelled orders. My brother and I are working on a new drink, but it requires something... If you do, I could see to it that the So here's what we're thinking. Bring back our grandmother's favorite Asker's Draft, a classic. The recipe calls for bristletongue seeds, and if you're talking rare ingredients, bristletongue tops the list. It's worthless for potions, but tastes fabulous. The problem is that the Fae control the use of bristletongue, as it's a product of the Font's waters. Talk to Jackson, their apothecary. He can probably get it for us. He spends his time in the Lyceum Grove and the Understyle section of town. He's an odd duck, always crafting new tonics. Some advice? Don't drink any. It's been in our family for 4 generations, since the days of Almir the Bold. Our grandmother entrusted us with the formula, and we made a fortune from it. But I'm afraid we've been replaced by a new drink. Almir the Bold was the first king of the Almain. He brought us out of lawlessness and misery. We've always wanted to name a drink after him. See you soon.
Welcome to the alley.
The House of Ballads must have taught you courtly manners, but not enough to keep you from interrupting. What is it, Your Grace? I am not petty, but I have limits, as do we all. I know I should lead the formation because of my position, but other, more tender individuals will insist otherwise. Whatever you do, do not make me walk behind the High Fae Mage Goronet. How shall I put this? He has an odor. Careful what you say, fell person. This is most important dealing with the lords and ladies of Issa. Remember your place. My only request is that Lord Goronet follow far behind me. He and his... Of course. The House of Ballads must have taught you courtly manners. But I am not... Whatever you do, if you value this position, you will make sure Lord Setter is not behind Huntress Hartwin. She finds him despicable, as do I. My only request is that... Of course. But see that it doesn't happen again.
My liege.
Watch your back.
You may buy a title in the end.
I don't know what the Fae do in the understuff.
Good. You've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is very sensitive. It involves treachery. Despite the calm you see around you, the gardens of Issa are on the brink of war, and the question is, Which one will it be? There are plans being made to seize this city. The Varani are displeased with the Court of Summer's lack of support for their people, and they wish to overthrow Tartarian and force the remaining Fae to fight. We can prevent this, but we must act now. If saving your people isn't enough, we can pay you as a reward. The Varani cannot stomach Tartarian's neutrality. They believe that his Fae subjects could be convinced to march with us on the battlefield. I believe this as well, but I would never resort violence. The Varani wish to turn Issa into a military camp. We cannot let that happen. It will ruin all our people have achieved here. Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the plot is the Varani ambassador, Kierna Brenner. Every night, the ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries a pair of daggers. Take them. Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. Return to me when it is done. She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll through Memory Walk. Try there after dark. She is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason alone, to bring down Issa. The Varani communicate secretly using weapons. They engrave codes into the blades of daggers and swords, and that way, they can get them through a typical search. We believe this particular pair of daggers describes the defenses of Issa, where it's strong and where it's weak. The Varani are plotting, and they will act. Goodbye.
It is a glorious day.
Mortals and beasts.
I await news from the Hall of Appointments, but surely you aren't their messenger. The ruler of the House of Ballad serves no one. Order? I care nothing for order. It is the others who insist on such foolishness and frippery. However, if you are the one who determines such things, may I ask that you place me behind the warlord Wenery? I enjoy watching her backside travel. It would be best if Garnet trails far behind Great Huntress Hartwin. Once at each other's throats, those two are difficult to tear apart. Remember? Behind Lady Wenery. Always a pleasure. I am at your service, fleshy master.
Raina Nyon can teach sage crafting to anyone. She spends most of her time in the delving hall. Speak to Siobhan Reen if you're in need of a healer while in the Rathia chapter.
Welcome to the Issa chapter house of the Scholia Arcana. How may I be of assistance?
We are an order of magic practitioners dedicated to the fostering of knowledge regarding all things mystical and arcane. While the heart of our power lies in Rathir, we keep an embassy here in Issa to maintain strong relations with the Fae. Traditionally, our applicants undergo years of preparation, but we understand your circumstances are somewhat irregular. Ever since you entered the city, we've been watching you. After all, an endorsement from Niralim is not quickly dismissed. If it is your wish to join our order, you must first complete the trial of initiation. It is a ritual that will better equip us to understand what place you might have among us. I will not lie. Some do not survive the ordeal. Of those who do, only a select few are chosen to become members of our order. Then first I shall present you with this. It is the story of the Order's founding and a good primer for all who wish to join our ranks. Now I shall summon the circle of mages necessary to perform the ritual. Savant Engar will lead the trial. Speak to him in the Delving Hall when you're ready to begin. It is not for me to divulge the details of the trial. I can only advise that you do not take the risk lightly. As a docent of the Scholia Arcana, my duties involve handling all tasks necessary for the day-to-day administration of the Order's affairs in Issa. We are a society of mages dedicated to the study of magic. Short of joining, the best way to learn about the Order is to read On the Founding of the Scholia Arcana. Despite Jorum's frustrations, the wild magic of the Fae can be channeled in the most extraordinary ways. It is a great honor for us to be granted a place among them. The Issa chapter is but a small branch of our larger Rathir chapter in the plains of Erethel. We focus more on researching the magics of the Fae and Dalentar than pure instruction. Farewell.
Don't know if we've had the pleasure. I'm the finest merchant in these parts, I assure you. Can't say that I have much. I know trade better than anyone else here, and they appreciate it here. You can't just have a group of book-minded mages and expect the organization to take care of itself. They rely on people to look after the logistics, like me. When I first arrived here at the instruction of the Order, I was terrified of the Fae. They are nothing like us. Come back any...
time. Plenty of wares here at hand, in case you need them while conducting work for the Scholia Arcana. Come back anytime.
Well, happy to see an unfamiliar face. Scholia Arcana's close-knitted enough without being sequestered in Issa. Didn't know the Fae had cities, or whatever you might call this, until I came out here. I can understand why they wouldn't want to share it, though. I love the Order. Never felt more at home than among my peers. But I only wish there were more of us. If you do enough good works, the Scholia sends you to Issa. Apparently, they're keen on learning some of the magics of the Fae. Be well.
Damn quiet, damn fools. I'm sorry, friend, I didn't see you there. I'm afraid I'm a bit concerned. A few nights ago, I was the victim of an attempted robbery. Someone sought to steal a gem of mine from a chest I warded myself. That night, 3 initiates fled the chapter. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. I suspect they were somehow involved. They could only have run into the She. Can you find them? Someone attempted to steal a valuable gem from me. And on the very same evening, 3 of our initiates disappeared. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. They're somehow involved in the attempted theft. And at the very least, in danger while on this She. Thank you. Find out what happened and I'll be grateful. They must be in this She. Find them there. I'm an experienced sagecrafter. My skills as a mage leave much to be desired, but no one knows stones like I do. The finest practitioners of the arcane crafts on the continent can be found within the Order. There are many things we have learned from our time with the Fae, though their magic is quite unlike ours. You've got to find them. They're somewhere in the She, I'm sure of it. There's 3 of them. Cassera, Bertrand, and Aloran. Until next time.
What do you want? Do you have business with the Varani in the Gardens of Issa? If so, then you must speak with me, Kierna Brenner. She's a disgrace to your people, and I find it hard to believe the Alfar couldn't find a stronger person for such an important position. What do you want? Do you have business with the You must mean Keen and her cohorts in the embassy. Lapdogs, all of them. They don't appreciate the situation. They don't understand sacrifice. This plot interests you. Listen, Ambassador Keen tries to stop me, but she can only do so while she lives and breathes. You can help me put an end to that. Fine. But you are playing this game for the weaker side. If Keen wants to stop us, she will send someone, and when they come, I will be ready. Didn't I already deal with you? Fine.
If this were my city, I'd want to hide it too.
How did I get here?
Mortals are such passionate things. Welcome. Let us never speak of this again. I don't know you. I don't like you. And I hope I never see you again. Take this gold and these supplies. Such items are hard to come by in wartime. This is where we part. We must not be seen in fellowship. Our agreement must remain in the shadows where it...
Sage Crafting Services here. It's good to see you again, my liege. We here in Issa are honored by your presence. How may I assist? This is where those who seek an audience with the summer court must first make their claim. And once that claim is honored, I will prepare them for reception. The Fae fulfill roles in the telling, be it king or steward. If one wishes to ascend the heavens, one must abide by the laws of nature. I am the attendant of the court's list, and the lady of receivership. I am trained in all aspects of courtly customs and stand 12th closest advisor to the High King. Your kind has tried for so long to gain access to this sacred place, to be near us. Yet here you all are, and I rarely see a single mortal in the understyle. What do they fear, I wonder? Do visit me again.
If sage crafting intrigues you.
If this were my city, I'd want to hide it too. If the gardens of Issa ever fell, I cringed.
They send the ruler of the House of Ballads to serve me? What form of unnatural mortal game is this? Why are you here? Me? Well, my seniority dictates that I should be leading this procession, but my lame leg prevents me from taking my rightful place. I should bring up the rear. I will make it to Tartarean's throne, even if I have to crawl. Are we through with this interrogation? Oh. They send the ruler of the House of Ballads to... Me? I should bring up the rear. Great Huntress Heartwen should go first, leading us all. She's particularly like that. I would hate to anger her. I have seen more days than any of the others combined, and I'm slow because of it. I will watch from the back, thank you very much. Of course.
Can I aid you?
Oh, was that it? Welcome to the Lyceum Grove, where the majesty of the font is glorified and regulated. I am Jackson, apprentice to the fontmaster and steward of tinctures and elixirs. Bristletongue, my, that would be something. A mockingbird with the font's only yield. Of course I will tell you where it is. What would be the fun in refusing? But before I do that, you need to offer me something. Isn't that how you mortals act? One deed for another? As steward of tinctures and elixirs, I often dabble in alchemy, especially with the water from the font. And I need you to drink this potion. Good. I will know what this does to the mortal constitution. Go on, big gulps now. None of that sipping. Do come see me again.
Greetings.
If it isn't the mockingbird, come in, come in. It's always good to hear a fancy chirp. Didn't you speak to Barrett? The bristletongue is outside the court of summer. Do come see me again.
Can I aid you?
I leave.
Idris Leonin has been managing the Scholia Arcana libraries for centuries. I hear he has a special lesson for those. Let's see. If I change the motion to more a twist, then will the spell...
Greetings. I have some ability with the art of sage crafting. Do you wish for some instruction? I came to the Scholia Arcana because magic flows through my family, my entire people. And though the magic is strong, it gives few answers to the questions of life. What is this power? Where does it come from? I hope to learn these truths in time. Many try to join our order, but most do not have the skill necessary to be of use. The Fae possess a certain communion with the magical energies of nature that we mortals can only dream of. Return when you wish to learn more.
Greetings.
Please, do not distract me.
Let us get this over with.
This should not take long.
Center your thoughts on the trial to come. Focus, newcomer. The trial is
Greetings. Greetings. I will be the savant presiding over your trial of initiation. Traditionally, applicants have prepared for the challenges of this trial through years of study and training. But as Augur mentioned, we realize you are unique. Do you have any questions before we begin? The magic of the ritual confronts the applicant with his or her own potential. Consequently, no two experiences are the same. How this potential manifests varies. Whatever takes place is for the applicant only. Tradition dictates it is never spoken of. And a final warning. While whatever shape the magic takes isn't real, not truly, what happens can have real consequences. Do not underestimate the danger. The magic of the ritual confronts the applicant with his or her own potential. Consequently, how this potential manifests varies. And a final warning. While whatever shape the magic takes isn't real, this is a fluid magic. The form it takes varies according to the power and nature of the ritual's focus. In this case, you. The goal is a simple one. Survive. Like every Scholia Arcana member before you, to join our ranks, you must first confront the specter of your potential. And be aware that I am watching. Now, proceed into the center of the circle to begin. Good luck.
Please, do not distract me.
Welcoming place, isn't it? Is that a pile of corpses? Fascinating. Don't pay any attention to my ramblings, Initiate. Those fair Gorta look like they're out for blood. Possess quite the capacity for violence. Intriguing. By the Founders, what is that? A synergistic construct of all chemical elements resonant within a sage-crafted crystalline substructure. I do hope you survive the trial. We must discuss this further. The first phase of the trial is complete. Proceed further, Initiate, to see what lies beyond. Another cave. How interesting. Something is terribly wrong. Ahead, I sense another's presence in the trial. Dissonance? Growing? Cannot...
Where am I? What is this place? The Dark Empyrean. I cannot remember. I cannot remember anything. And you. I smell death on you, child. Why have you summoned me here? I am the Dark Empyrean, and I will not be bound by you or those you serve. I could kill you now, but I have plans for those in the shadows. Now be gone.
Such power! One moment we were linked, sustaining the magic of the trial, and then an arc of energy, the likes of which I have never seen, burst from you. 3 mages lay dead, and 2 have fled screaming. I know the trial is not meant to be shared, but what in live? A difficult question. The purpose of the spell is to confront the focus, in this case you, with a force representative of his or her potential. How it goes about this is, well, uncertain. The magic finds a way. So I must ask, what happened in your trial? What did you encounter? A woman? Masked in shadow? I will need to consult my books. Perhaps later we can discuss the details. For now, we have dead to bury and missing mages to find. As for the formalities, you have proven yourself worthy in the trial of initiation. In the name of the Scholia Arcana, I hereby confer unto you the title of Neophyte. Welcome to the Order. Come speak to me when you're ready to be of use. It is a wondrous world we have been graced with, and among its marvels is the force of magic that builds in strength every day. We have a responsibility to know what these forces are, so that we may better control it. Ah, yes. Newly welcomed applicants are known as neophytes. In time, those who have progressed to handling certain amounts of responsibility may become docents. Particularly gifted members may one day reach the rank of adept. They are traditionally the agents of the Scholia Arcana, to whom great tasks may be entrusted. A very few may reach the rank of savant. These are the leaders of the Order, and they yield only to one, the Art Sage. Oh, right. You passed. Up until the point where all hell broke loose, you were even doing well. Not that we expected anything less. I am sending you to the ruin of Aod, to the south. There, the element of fire thrives as though it has a life of its own. After your initiation trial, the magic in Aod shifted. I believe this magic is tied to you, Initiate. Confronting it might yield some answers. Followers of Rakor dwell within. They have quite the affinity for fire, as do other creatures found there. As for what may be causing the recent swelling in power emanating from the ruin, your guess is as good as mine. Priests of Raykor have long sealed Aod from entry, but we know it to be an ancient ruin. If you're interested in the details, read Velthilion Carr's Aod, the Mythos of Mayhem. I'm sure our library has a copy. Somewhat self-destructive cultists who worship the arcane aspects of fire. They frequent places they believe blessed by Raykor, and do not welcome trespassers. They frequent places he is, one of the most gifted sage-crafters we have produced in generations. Wherever he may be, I hope he is safe, and will soon return to the fold. It does not surprise me that Nuala survived the backlash of power that killed 3 of her brethren. From the first day of her novitiate, she demonstrated an insatiable curiosity and remarkable talent. But now, I can't help but wonder if we pushed her too hard. Lyria be with you. There you are.
Greetings to you. There is always time to grow your skills. Should you return when you wish to learn more?
Are you supposed to be up here? The trellis
Yes,
is for
mortal?
those of high esteem and important.
Welcome to the trellis, mortal. Tread carefully. Nice to see you. Oh, you took me by surprise. I'm not accustomed to mortals on the trellis. Please, enter. I am Lord Saramer, the High Lore Sage of Issa. I am here to answer all questions regarding the House of Ballads and the House of Valor. This sanctuary is where the knights of our most prestigious house stay when visiting the Court of Summer. I act as their humble scribe and servant. All Summer Fae clutch the glory of the House of Ballads to its collective breast, knowing that the deeds of one are indeed the deeds of all. We are the children of the fields and fountains, a Fae body filled with a deep breath of magic. All that you see around you is ours. For many seasons we lived in these forests and canyons alone, distrusting, apart. But once we felt the call to join together, we became the Seelie. It is meant exclusively for those close to the Summer Court, or the ambassador who wishes an audience with the High King. Our most honourable institutions reside on the Trellis, including the House of Ballad Sanctuary and what was once the House of Valor Sanctuary. It was one of the Fae's great houses until its leader was challenged and beaten, and the magic faded under the mortals' leadership. Now even the sanctuary here on the Trellis is wilted and closed as a result of our great loss. Or perhaps it's a sign of something darker. By choosing to lead the Summer Fae, Titarian is eternally linked to our fortunes, both day and night. He feels the waning magic as a mortal might feel his heart sink at the sight of his sunrise. When our seasons end, Titarian will be the first to enter the long winter. May good fortune follow. You're always welcome. The ballads belong to all in the telling, mortals and Fae alike. May good fortune follow.
May the stone sing your song to the ages. Olaine sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village plagued, to find a cure for them. Her quest, the Maid of Windermere, her test. Once the ill were brought to health, and the villain had fallen by, good Olaine returned to mortal ground and gifted them with magic found.
Your place is below.
Are you supposed to be up here?
I'd advise you to leave me to my task.
You feel it, don't you? Anyone intimate with the ways of magic can detect the waning current. You're like me, Your Grace. You see the end. Is this how it happened at the House of Ballad? Did Hallam foresee this slow decay? I had a feeling he did. Of the Gardens of Issa? Of the Summer Court? Why, this crystal war may be the end of all Fae. I know because I am Nomeron, master of the font, the wellspring of all Summer Court magic. I've seen it flow at its highest, but I've never seen it so dry. Something must be done before all this city withers into nothingness. The font is the source of all Summer Court magic. It has flowed through this mountainside since our kind sprang up from the dirt. That flow has waned in recent days. It's unnatural, even as the magic in the world grows. The Fae, it seems, will wither. The font's flow is controlled from the Lyceum Grove down below. We must open the root system and allow more water through. However, the magic that regulates this flow can only be used by some. It's protected by a ward known as the Waterlock. It can only be opened by one who carries drops from each of the 5 sacred pools surrounding Issa. Collect these drops, and you can break the Waterlock. Collect water from each of the 5 sacred pools, and then go to the Lyceum Grove. This is where the roots can be opened to regulate the font's flow. Every season, one is chosen to attend the font's magical flow to act as ambassador. I'm the only Fae to have held the position more than once. I feel the strength of the currents. They wash through me. They rise up and overflow. However, their power weakens. Their cool waters recede. It has been located here for many of your generations, what we call seasons. Only in recent times has it been shaped to resemble one of your mortal cities. The Summer Court resides on the highest terrace, far above the rest of us, as it should be. As it is in every season, this family of Summer Fae has communed at the feet of its greatest leader, the High King Tatarian. The Western Faelands are our domain. While wise and powerful, he's also brash and narrow, a sliver of light in a world so dark that most of us are blind. His inaction is no match for mortal ambition. It is the source of Summer Court magic and touches our realm of origin, the land of Ashara. Without its constant flow, our kind would dry up like leaves and vanish. Most mortals know nothing of what lies beyond the veil. The magical realm of Ashara. It is a mystery even to us, as we departed its shores many seasons ago. The sacred pools are the collection points for the font's yield. Together, they cradle the gardens of Issa. Keep it safe, powerful and hidden. You will find 2 of the pools below in the gardens themselves. One near the Ballad Sanctuary, and one in the Court of Summer itself. Goodbye. Hey?
Do you have an audience with the High King?
Mortals are such passionate things.
Avoid Nomeron. He is a fool and an instigator. The font dry up? Why, he's mad.
I am the great huntress Hartwan, and you are not allowed on the trellis. What brings you here, beautiful? How quaint. Well, I am the most respected and most deserved to lead. Besides, I detest that harlot, Warlord Winry. So it is only right I meet the High King before her. Every one of our kind has a gift, they say. A role in the telling. Mine is to seek harmony with nature, like keeping the wild fae under control. I am the Reaper. Most of my seasons are spent in the shadows of the canopy, tracking my prey. The trellis was created as common ground where the members of the great houses may meet to share knowledge and search for answers. However, it's not been the same since the House of Valor fell and the House of Seasons was deserted. And I always thought that nothing changes. The House of Seasons was where those in tune with the Great Cycle went to understand its many mysteries. But the Great House now stands empty, its occupants gone. King Tatarian will not speak of it, but I know something has happened. Whatever it is, the signs are ominous. Growth is violent, and nothing can reach fruition without surviving conflict. That is nature's way. Our House of Valor celebrated that conflict. Now, however, this great house has fallen to mortals such as you. That is why this sanctuary has withered and faded. The magic is gone. I've come to the Gardens of Issa to report the decay of wild fae. They are disappearing, and the king must be informed. Either they are vanishing due to the decline in fae magic, or someone is hunting them. It's my duty to discover which story is true. Goodbye. Greetings, Mort.
All must follow the peace edict.
Be mindful of others. There are many in this city who wish to do you harm.
Yes? Welcome to the Gardens, mortal. But you have not come to visit the city, nor to speak with me. You are here on much graver errands. This is where the Fae of Issa fulfill their roles in the telling. You mortals call it work, but we see it as following the cycle, letting our nature guide us. I am only a visitor here like you. Perhaps I was drawn to this place by something greater than myself. Perhaps it was you. I can help you divine the role you will play in coming events, and the skills needed to finish that journey. We are a special breed, but you know that already. Farewell.
What is it?
Welcome.
So, you're done. A right group of snakes, eh? So, any insight into how I should present them so as not to tug their writhing tails? It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line up these backstabbing serpents. Yes, yes. Of course. And then? All right. Next. Yes, yes. Excellent. That's a perfect order for these fools. Saves me the trouble of talking to them. Thank you. Goodbye, Your Grace. Enjoy your visit to the city, Your Grace. Long live the House of Ballads. She is a harsh mistress, prone to violence, but mostly of the swatting kind. Usually I deserve it. Goodbye, Your Grace.
Oh, why must you keep bothering me? My audience with the... They make up the most powerful body in the world, especially now that the mortal races have become embroiled in conflict. A second spring is coming, mark my words. I remember a cycle, a great many seasons, when your kind did not trample the gardens of Issa. This city was the ideal in those times. It is forever tainted now. He is the most beautiful of us, a being of absolute perfection. It is a shame he must grace the mortal realm in a physical form. His true brilliance is beyond you. I spent many seasons wandering the wood of the She, acquiring the knowledge necessary to better serve the summer court. But does Tatarian care? Never. Such groveling is beneath me, such spectacles of royalty and procedure. I may be able to wait an eternity for an audience, but the untended garden grows wild. Please do go away.
I am very pleased to see you again. Mortals, such fascinating things. Yes, you. You are fascinating.
My experience with you has convinced me that fell persons, while slightly stupid and aggravating, are not completely useless. My place is prowling the Feylands in search of a worthy challenge. Not here, petitioning fools about issues that do not concern me. There is no more important nature than that which lusts for battle. Creation and destruction are sisters in the great cycle, both necessary to maintain the balance. I am the flame that blackens the dirt, the smoke that blocks the sun. My time in the Withering War was my finest hour, but those seasons are long past now. The Summer Court would not stand for the mortal ambitions of Own, King of the Winter Court. So we burned him, as we burn a dying forest in need of mercy. You fell persons are ignorant, aren't you? The Great Cycle is what gives balance between the eternal conflict of growth and decay. When every Fae passes, he is reborn. As long as the Great Cycle persists, this world we share may continue to refine itself on a path to perfection. We adore him in every guise, yet he has a wistfulness that I do not understand. There is no fire in him, only a peaceful pool that goes deeper than any of us realize.
Welcome to the trellis, Dustling. This is a sacred walk. You gaze down from heaven upon the ruin that mortals have wrought. Just look at the House of Valor, the crumpled husk of its former self. Is this the fate of all our kind? To be wrung in the hands of the mortal world, to wither and fade? Visit me again. How fare you this day? Farewell, young one.
Don't test me. Greetings, mortal.
I must not be disturbed.
Hello.
Titarian is waiting for you. Please place the codex before him, and he will continue. You have nothing to... He has entered a reverie. It will allow him to unravel the memories and visions contained within the codex. Step forward, and His Majesty will reveal what you wish to know. Go on. His Majesty's reverie is difficult, and will not last.
You're making quite the impact, aren't you? Welcome to the High King's court. Word travels fast, even among the Fae. Titarian's gone far out of his way for you. He must find you as intriguing as I do. Even I wouldn't dare keep Titarian waiting. Don't keep the High King wait. Don't keep the... Even I wouldn't dare keep Titarian waiting.
I heard about Haxi. Impressive work. I wonder what became of Hughes after the tower. The old man is too clever to die. Grand as this is, I can't stop worrying. I wonder what became. Grand as this is, I can't stop worrying about Hughes.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage. We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae,
cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new, and you are a mortal who is free from fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our souls are diminishing. Few Fae even realize that the great cycle is shifted. Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the weave that we shall all pass from this world together. It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the fate which I look to you to change. The power of a god in the brash hands of a mortal. This is why Niralim fears what you might become. This age has seen much change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. You are intertwined with the power in the East. Your energy reaches back to Alabastra. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. You are right. No one can force this upon you. Such is the true power of freedom. But the Tuatha and their god will continue to seek you out. And they will find you. When they do, know that while you may be unbound by fate, death can find you still. To fight it, you must assemble allies. Seek their aid to assemble your forces. Only then can you hope to resist the forces arrayed against you.
No fighting in the city!
Please place the Codex before him, and he will continue. You have nothing to fear in His Majesty's presence. He has entered a reverie. It will allow him to unravel the memories and visions contained within the Codex. Step forward, and His Majesty will reveal what you wish to know.
Welcome to the High King's court. Word travels fast, even among the Don't keep the High King waiting.
I heard. I wonder. Grand as this is, I can't stop worrying about Hughes.
We realize this but that Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of the It is too late for us, We were wrong. You are in... We do not... His God holds your answer, and I have seen... You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. Admirable. But strength of will cannot see you through this alone. You may be unbound by fate, but you are not free from death. Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as High King of the Summer Court. My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people are in peril. It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger of the end of my kind. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we forgive you. We are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow and the long winter. Our cold cousins across the sea. Do not think the Winter Court our enemies, for we love them as family, dismal though they may be. Oh, to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha have consumed them, and all of their wonders are lost. The summer and winter courts have always ruled the Feylands in harmony, as the seasons wash across the world. But with Gadflow's new god, something changed. The Winter Fey who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismir upon them. Their power has grown, and yet they are diminished. The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece, the edges of their fate locking together with the people around them, all performing their duties to form a grand picture. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint. You cover and redefine the edges of the puzzle pieces you meet. But more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that your design is better than the original?
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorous Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. All gnome scholars have a Templar who sponsors their research, and apparently Hughes' sponsor, Templar Octien, is desperate to find him. Go southwest to the Hollowlands and Detir. Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might reach Hughes. You're not the only one on the hunt for Hughes. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands and Detir. You'll want to talk to him. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison.
thought you were so interesting. Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape, Neuralim's looking for a savior, and Tatarian is looking for a champion, and somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown over the years. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fate Weaver. You'll need an army. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option, not even for me. But there is hope. In the plains of Erethel there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Telera. Meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything. General Telera was in charge of our forces to the east in Cluracan, but a decade ago, Witch Knight Malwyn and his Tuatha army drove her forces back. Since then, she's been looking for some way to take back the land she lost and regain her honor. You might be just the help she needs. Be on your way.
Surely I cannot question the wisdom of the High King, but neither can I fathom it. My deepest apologies. It seems I really must return to my studies.
Respect the Court of Summer. Respect.
Respect the Court of Summer.
The age of the Fae is drawing to an end. Now is your time.
Any luck finding the old gnome?
No fighting in the...